In today's fast-paced, high-pressure world, anxiety has become a common companion for many. It's as if we're caught in a relentless storm of worry, stress, and unease. We're constantly racing, chasing deadlines and expectations, trying to keep up with the relentless pace of modern life. And the result? Anxiety. It's more than just an occasional feeling of worry or stress. It's a persistent, pervasive sense of unease that can deeply impact our lives. Anxiety doesn't discriminate. It can affect anyone, regardless of age, gender, or background. It can seep into every aspect of our lives, from our social interactions to our professional performance, from our personal well-being to our physical health. It's a silent epidemic spreading its shadow over our modern lives, often unrecognized and untreated. But it's not just about the individual. The ripple effects of anxiety stretch out, touching the lives of those around us. It impacts our relationships, our productivity, our creativity. It can create a barrier, a fog that prevents us from fully engaging with the world around us, from reaching our full potential. And the worst part? It often feels like there's no escape, no respite. We're caught in a cycle, a loop of worry and stress that's fueled by the pressures and demands of modern life. It's like being stuck in a maze with no clear way out. But what if there was a way out? What if there was a tool, a method to help us navigate this maze of anxiety? And what if this tool wasn't something new or revolutionary, but something ancient, something steeped in wisdom and spirituality? What if an ancient scripture could offer us some relief? In the next scene, we'll delve into this scripture, Isaiah 43:18, and explore how its teachings can provide a powerful antidote to the anxiety epidemic we're facing. So stay tuned, and let's embark on this journey together. Isaiah 43:18, a verse from the Bible, carries a potent message for our times. This verse, nestled within the book of Isaiah, comes from a time of deep turmoil and transition for the Israelites. It's a call from the divine, a plea to forget the former things and not to dwell on the past. But what does it really mean? And how does it relate to our modern struggle with anxiety? In its historical context, Isaiah 43:18 provided hope and reassurance to a people facing immense challenges. It urged them to let go of past traumas and fears, to make space for new beginnings. This message of release and renewal resonates deeply with us today, especially when we consider our own experiences with anxiety. Anxiety often roots itself in the past. It feeds on our fears, our regrets, and our perceived failures. It keeps us tethered to what has been, hindering our ability to fully embrace the present or look forward to the future. The teachings of Isaiah 43:18, however, offer a potent antidote to this. The verse encourages us to release our past, to let go of the old, to make way for the new. It's a call to liberation, to free ourselves from the shackles of past experiences that fuel our anxiety. This isn't about denying our past or suppressing our experiences. It's about acknowledging them, learning from them, and then, crucially, letting them go. It's about understanding that our past does not define us, and it certainly doesn't dictate our future. In this light, Isaiah 43:18 emerges as a powerful tool in our fight against anxiety. Its message, though ancient, speaks directly to our modern condition, offering a pathway to freedom and peace. It reminds us that every day is a new beginning, a chance to redefine ourselves and our experiences. Now, let's delve deeper into the link between anxiety and our past. Often, our anxiety is fueled by past experiences and the fear of repeating them. This is a statement that many of us can resonate with. It's like we're constantly walking on a tightrope, balancing between the shadows of our past and the uncertainty of our future. In our minds, these past experiences play out like a movie on repeat. Whether it's a past failure, a traumatic event, or even a simple embarrassment that happened years ago, these memories hold a powerful grip on our present. They shape our thoughts, our actions, and in many cases, our anxiety levels. Psychologists often link anxiety to a concept called anticipatory anxiety. This is the fear of future events or outcomes based on past experiences. It's like our mind is constantly running simulations of what could go wrong, based on what has gone wrong before. While this can be helpful in some situations, in excess it leads to chronic anxiety. But it's not just about the negative experiences. Sometimes we cling to the past because it was better, happier. We long for those moments and fear that the future may not live up to them. This too can fuel anxiety. Then there's the fear of the unknown. The future is a vast, uncharted territory. We don't know what lies ahead, and that uncertainty can be terrifying. We start to imagine all sorts of scenarios, most of them negative. This fear of the future, based on past experiences, is a major trigger for anxiety. So we're stuck in this loop, trapped between a past we can't change and a future we can't predict. It's like being on a treadmill, constantly running but getting nowhere. This is where our anxiety thrives, in this limbo between what was and what could be. But how can we break free from this cycle? The answer may lie in an ancient verse, a wisdom passed down through centuries, a beacon of hope in our modern world of stress and anxiety. It's time we delve into the teachings of Isaiah 43:18. The teachings of Isaiah 43:18 can help us navigate our way out of anxiety. This ancient verse reminds us to leave the past behind, a concept that's incredibly powerful for those of us grappling with anxiety. But how can we apply its teachings to everyday life? Let's delve into that. Step 1 is to understand the essence of the verse. It tells us to forget the former things and not dwell on the past. In essence, it's a call to mindfulness, to live in the present moment. When anxiety strikes, remind yourself of this verse. Whisper it to yourself, write it down, or simply hold the words in your mind. Step 2 is to actively practice letting go of past events that may be fueling your anxiety. Each time a past event comes to mind, gently remind yourself that it's in the past. It cannot hurt you now. This is not about denying the past, but rather acknowledging it and choosing to focus on the now. Step 3 involves applying the teachings of Isaiah 43:18 to your thoughts about the future. Anxiety often involves worrying about things that haven't happened yet. But this verse reminds us to stay in the present, to not be consumed by what-ifs and could-bes. The 4th step is to cultivate mindfulness as part of your daily routine. This can be as simple as taking 5 minutes each day to be still, to breathe, to focus on the here and now. Mindfulness can help lessen the grip of anxiety by grounding us in the present moment. And finally, step 5 is to remember that this is a practice. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about taking small steps each day towards a less anxious, more present life. The teachings of Isaiah 43:18 are not a magic bullet. They won't eliminate anxiety overnight, but they offer a path, a way to navigate through the storm of anxiety to a place of greater peace and presence. And many have already found this method effective, so why not give it a try? You have nothing to lose and potentially a great deal to gain. Let Isaiah 43:18 guide you towards a life less dominated by anxiety and more filled with presence and peace. Let's hear from those who've successfully used Isaiah 43:18 to combat anxiety. Our first story comes from Jane, a high school teacher from Chicago. She recalls a time when her past mistakes haunted her daily, causing severe anxiety. But when she discovered Isaiah 43:18, she began practicing the principle of letting go of the past. Jane shares, "I realized I was holding on to things that no longer served me. This verse reminded me to focus on the present and the future. It's been a game changer for me." Next, we hear from Michael, a retired firefighter from New York. He grappled with anxiety after witnessing traumatic events during his career. Michael tells us, "Clinging on to past horrors was eating me alive. Isaiah 43:18 became my daily mantra. It helped me release those burdensome memories. It's like I found a new lease on life." Our third testimonial comes from Lisa, a single mother from Texas. She was paralyzed by fears about the future stemming from her past experiences. Lisa shares, "I was stuck in a cycle of worry. Isaiah 43:18 taught me to let go of past fears and focus on the here and now. My anxiety levels have significantly reduced, and I'm more present for my children." Lastly, we hear from Sam, a college student from California. He experienced crippling anxiety about his future based on his past failures. Sam tells us, "I used to be consumed by my past mistakes, fearing they'd dictate my future. But Isaiah 43:18 showed me a different path. Now, I've learned to let go, and it's incredibly freeing. My anxiety has lessened dramatically." These stories serve as powerful reminders that Isaiah 43:18's wisdom can be used as a tool against anxiety. By letting go of the past, we can focus on the present and look forward to the future with hope and optimism. These stories show us that there's a broader spiritual perspective to consider. Isaiah 43:18 is part of a bigger spiritual framework that can help manage anxiety. It's a verse that reminds us to let go of the past, but it also speaks to a broader truth that is woven throughout many spiritual traditions. This truth encourages us to live in the present and trust in the future. It's about acknowledging our fears and anxieties but not allowing them to dictate our lives. It's about learning to surrender control and trust in something greater than ourselves. This idea is not unique to Isaiah or even to the Bible. It's found in many faith traditions and spiritual practices around the world. In this broader spiritual context, prayer, faith, and scripture all play a crucial role. Prayer is not just about asking for help or seeking solace. It's also about expressing gratitude, acknowledging our blessings, and connecting with something beyond our individual selves. Faith, meanwhile, is about trust. It's about believing in the unseen and the unproven. It's about trusting in the journey, even when the destination is unclear. Faith reminds us that we are not alone, and that there is a greater plan at work, even if we can't see it. Scripture, such as Isaiah 43:18, provides us with wisdom and guidance. These ancient texts are filled with stories and teachings that can help us navigate our modern lives. They remind us of the timeless truths that can help us manage our anxieties and fears. Each of these elements, prayer, faith, and scripture, can provide a sense of peace and stability. They remind us that we are part of something much larger than our individual lives and our individual worries. When we embrace this broader spiritual perspective, we can begin to see our anxieties in a new light. We can start to understand that our fears and worries are not the end of the story, but simply a part of the journey. And with this understanding, we can find the strength and courage to let go of the past, live in the present, and trust in the future. Let's summarize what we've learned today. Today, we've explored how an ancient verse can help us combat modern anxiety. We've delved into the profound wisdom of Isaiah 43:18, understanding how its message of releasing the past can act as a potent antidote to anxiety. We've looked at the psychological aspects of anxiety, seeing how clinging to past experiences and fears about the future can fuel our stress. We've also shared practical steps on how to apply this verse in our daily lives and heard inspiring stories of transformation. In the grand scheme of things, Isaiah 43:18 is a part of a broader spiritual perspective, a testament to how faith, prayer, and scripture can provide peace and stability. I encourage you to explore, practice, and embrace these teachings. Let them guide you to a life less burdened by anxiety. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this, and share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below.